This is Matthew Cratter from Bitcoin University. Today I want to talk about Vitalik's quantum computer scam. Once a scammer, always a scammer, as they say, and we all know and love Vitalik Buterin for his long-running Ethereum scam. It began with a huge pre-mine, 70% of the tokens issued to insiders like himself and Joe Lubin. Then he bailed out his rich friends by hard forking the chain after the DAO hack. Then he switched the chain from proof of work to proof of stake in order to empower pre-mine beneficiaries like himself. Ethereum is probably the best base layer for scams that has ever been created. As Saifedean Ammous says, Ethereum is the mother from which shitcoins spring. But did you know that this was not Vitalik's first scam? In 2013, Vitalik attempted to raise money to build a quantum computer to mine Bitcoin. Not a real quantum computer, mind you, but instead trying to use traditional hardware to emulate a quantum computer, which everyone told him was impossible because it is impossible. As Adam Back stated in 2020, he was actually there. He could confirm, I witnessed this pre-ETH Vitalik quantum computer simulation mining scam firsthand at a small 2013 conference in Amsterdam. I debunked the comp sci illogicality and impossibility of the claim, did succeed in talking some investors out of parting with their Bitcoin. So Vitalik raised money. He took people's Bitcoin in order to do this scam. John Carvalho has a nice piece on it as well called Vitalik's Quantum Quest, which I wanted to quote from here. Vitalik and Jordan, who's his business partner in this venture, stood on stage explaining a bit about how they could use some approximation of quantum computing to successfully mine on the Bitcoin network at extreme hash rates, effectively allowing them to secretly print more money using their exclusive advantage. They explained that they needed more money to be able to create this quantum wonder, but assured the crowd that any investor would gain their proportionate share of the plethora of Bitcoins they would later mine with their magical quantum mining machine. Then they directly solicited the crowd for investment. If you're enjoying this video so far, I'd just take a quick break here to ask you to help to support the channel by clicking the subscribe button. Leave this video a like, a comment, and share this video with a friend or family member. Continuing with John Carvalho's piece, he writes, I asked how and when they intended to help make Bitcoin quantum resistant within their plan. Vitalik waxed on how Bitcoin might be made quantum resistant, but expressed that could always be worked on after they had implemented their own quantum mining. Quote, I asked whether they intended to open source their work. They implied that they would consider it after they were able to mine a sufficient number of Bitcoins. I'm pretty sure I left my most important question for last. I'm also pretty sure they didn't have any real answer. I asked them, this is again John Carvalho writing, I asked them if they had considered that if they were to succeed, they would essentially be centralizing the network under their total control and exploiting all other users as well as their investors. I pointed out that exclusively quantum mining Bitcoin would more than likely result in the death of that Bitcoin fork, making the pile of coins they mine potentially worthless, which of course would be a big problem when you're running a venture investment like this. And here's a follow-up on this from David Gerard, an excerpt from Attack of the 50-Foot Blockchain talking about the same incident. It's also worth noting that a quantum computer would be able to solve the SHA-256 hash used in Bitcoin somewhat faster than an ordinary computer. This is Bitcoin mining. But it could also quickly break, and I think this is what John was referring to in one of those previous quotes, but a quantum computer could also quickly break the public key encryption that protects a user's Bitcoin balance. So if you secretly had a quantum computer, you could mine a bit faster, or you could just steal everyone else's Bitcoin. And clearly this is something that Vitalik was aware about, especially after John asked him that question about making Bitcoin quantum resistant in an effort to prevent this public-private key cryptography piece from being broken. Gregory Maxwell also talks about this quantum computer scam. He writes, Vitalik's project immediately before Ethereum is that he was collecting investments from people to fund building a computer program to solve NP complete problems in polynomial time, supposedly by simulating a quantum computer. He goes on to write that that doesn't even make any sense under classical computer science. And this was interesting, I thought, Gregory's comment at the end here. Vitalik built up a reputation for himself writing tech explainers of other people's ideas, usually without any attribution, until someone complains, making him look like the author. After trying and failing at the quantum computer emulation scam, but before launching the Ethereum scam, Vitalik was working on a pump and dump scam or scheme involving a crypto called Primecoin. And we're very lucky that evidence of this attempted pump and dump has been recorded in chat that was shared on this Medium article. This is Yanislav. I regret having invested in Primecoin right now, at least. And then Vitalik says, there's a reason to do it. Make Primecoin the first altcoin with a real block explorer. Vitalik goes on to say, increase the value of your investment, and then goes on to say you can even speculate around the announcement. So what they would do is they would accumulate a lot of Primecoin, then they would build a block explorer for it, announce that it had been released, and then dump their Primecoins on everyone else. This is how a pump and dumper thinks. The other thing that Vitalik seemed to spend some time thinking about, this famous tweet, which he subsequently deleted, I can easily argue that doing heroin imposes risks on others and simple possession of CP does not. He clearly knows why he deleted this, but this is something very disturbing to see. Now, why does any of this matter? Isn't Vitalik just a private individual who deserves his privacy? No, he is not. Ethereum is a $300 billion crypto project with a living co-founder who currently wields the bully pulpit, creates the roadmap, rallies the community around one hard fork after another, and is basically the face of Ethereum. In this case, and in cases like this, the personal history of this individual is important when making investment decisions, and people deserve to know about this. Just like you would research the founder or CEO of a company, asking yourself questions like, is this guy believable? Is this guy ethical? What does his track record look like? Now, in terms of track record, Ethereum is definitely Vitalik's most successful scam so far, but the writing is on the wall, and I think he's going to get in a lot of trouble this time. Finally, ETH has been losing value against Bitcoin since the November 2021 merge, when it moved from proof of work to proof of stake, which was a complete disaster. ETH has gone straight down. This is where it was trading versus Bitcoin in November of 2021, and as we speak today, it's hitting new lows in that move. And also the SEC has been sending out Wells notices and subpoenas to many different groups in the Ethereum ecosystem. The SEC has subpoenaed firms that dealt with the Ethereum Foundation, according to Fortune. Ethereum Foundation has received a confidential inquiry from a state authority, shows a GitHub commit, and it looks like the Ethereum Foundation is facing inquiry from a government. Fortune says the SEC is investigating Ethereum, and it looks like there's even a possibility that next week, when the SEC denies all the Ethereum applications, one of the reasons it will provide is that it believes that ETH is indeed a security. This is something I talk about in this video, which I'll link to in the description notes below. In this video, I discuss how the SEC has considered ETH to be a security since at least 2023, and probably long before that. The SEC has served Consensus, which is a company started by Joe Lubin, who's a co-founder of Ethereum. So it's part of the Ethereum ecosystem, or provides the main wallet, MetaMask, as well as support for running full nodes through its company, its child company, Infura. The SEC has served Consensus with a Wells notice, and thus a lawsuit should follow soon. So it looks like the Ethereum Foundation and Consensus, which are two key players in the Ethereum ecosystem, are going to be sued by the SEC. So it looks like Vitalik's days of scamming may be, fortunately, quickly coming to an end. At least we can hope so. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe and like buttons. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified when I publish my next video. And let me know your questions and comments in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.